Welcome back. We are The Way of the Leaf, and we are going to bring you a non-reader response to episode 1 of The Wheel of Time. That's right, these two lovely ladies have not read the book, and they're going to let us know what it feels like to watch this first episode without having any background knowledge. My name is Ryan. To my left is Brother Dan, and Dovie is G-Mama, and to her right, her left on the screen, is Lady Catherine.
G-Mama has actually read a couple of the books, but they were over a decade ago for sure.
A very long time ago, but I have vague memories of some of the things of the book. So
I'm an actual WOT virgin.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Lady Catherine is Ryan and I's sister.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
G-Mama, I have the honor to actually share a house and bed and family with. She is my wife.
It's a family affair.
Literally, like Grace, G-Mama's just right up there. You're like right up there. We are going to, the first episode is called Leave Taking. It's the from the Amazon series, The Wheel of Time. We've been all waiting for this for a long time.
As super fans, we are biased. We are incredibly biased. And there are things that they're talking about that come naturally to us. This language is embedded in our brains. We can almost speak the old tongue. But you guys don't know, that so much is going to be new to you. And I'm really curious about what's sticking, what's not. So if you are confused by something, be honest. There's no wrong answers. You're going to help us as fans get a better understanding about how this is impacting the rest of the world. What did you think of the cast?
For me, I love that it is sort of, I would say, not timeless, but placeless in terms of features and character, look and feel. Just you could be kind of anywhere or nowhere, just somewhere in between. I was really struck by features of each of the characters, actors, really. I mean, because they're the physical people. And they found some really beautiful people.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hubba, right?
Well integrated. The first question I had was out in the very beginning, and she is giving the monologue, and she says they're looking for them. And I guess it's supposed to be a reference to a male and or female because she doesn't know which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it sounded like a plural instead of a singular that she's looking for.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And I would love if that actually we're misreading that and there is actually two people that fulfill this prophecy.
Yeah, or they have to work together to totally fulfill it together. Like one can't do it without the other.
Wait, so Cassie, to that end, they'd have to work together. Does that give you the idea of them?
There's more than one.
Okay, so mentally, you're picturing a man and a woman, or two men or two women?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because she says, right, the dragon is reborn. He is here, the prophecy, and we don't know if it's a man or a woman. So she refers to him as a he, and then, or I think it's boy or girl. Actually, she doesn't even say man or woman. Boy or girl.
Yep.
And then the them. So I was still thinking it was one person, but it's a really kind of interesting thought of the dragon can be a them.
And then the next scene is the gentleman being chased down.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And it's two of them. Look at that.
Yeah. Was there actually two gentlemen, or was there just one in his madness thought there was two? Did they make the other gentleman disappear or out of his view?
We don't have to call them gentlemen. They were hippies.
Okay. The chick. Yeah. The 30-year-old, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
40 is easy.
Yeah, 40 is the new 20.
Hi, Ryan. Nice to meet you.
All right. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is the scene we're talking about here. We have, what did you think of this actress?
She's cool. I like the way she was in red and her ring was red.
Just the evil, like her eyebrow, like whatever her eyebrows are shaped to make her look a little bit evil, as far as I see. And she was killing some dude.
So you said she's killing a dude, Grace. So you assume that they killed this
I did assume that. Yeah, that is she.
Okay.
Yeah, she kind of called on her sisters, I think she said, and gave him like, I mean, maybe she was just
Torture.
doing the Cruciatus curse from Harry Potter and just torturing him and making him hurt. But my assumption was she killed him.
Oh, anytime, but real quick, anytime you can bring up other fantasy, it makes you look really.
It's a forbidden
There's
curse.
3 forbidden curses.
What are they, Grace?
Imperius, Cruciatus, and the...
Expelliarmus.
No.
There's one where you can control, there's one that's just pain, and there's one that's death, right?
Yes, correct.
Here we have the opening sequence, Moiraine. She's getting dressed. What did you think of these suspenders, Cassie, Grace?
Well, you don't have to worry about your pants when you're kicking ass.
That freaking coat that she has is
Epic.
fantastic.
The lapels on the side,
Yeah,
on
the
the
coat's
top.
freaking fantastic.
think that's cool.
I want the coat.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Notice that her ring was blue and she was wearing blue. She was up on top of the mountain when that gentleman was whatever happened to him.
The hippie.
Yeah, the hippie. And,
The gentle hippie.
and I don't know if she's the HBIC or if they're all together. Do you know what I mean? She's a head person in charge.
Well, she says to him, this power is for women and women alone. When you use it, you make it filthy.
Right, but I thought that was kind of, and she said how arrogant of them, and I thought that was so arrogant of her to think that the women could control it.
There you
The
go.
same sort of arrogance. If the men can control it, then us women are better. We can control it. It's the same arrogance that caused the downfall in the first place.
So Moraine's up on the mountain looking down. She's like, nope, that ain't him.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he could do magic stuff, and he's supposed to be 20.
Right, yeah,
Look at
he was 28 years ago.
So she says they're off to the 2 rivers because there's a rumor of 4 TAVERN there. What did that mean? Did that mean anything to you?
Nah, I just considered it like, we're in a weird world. It's like hobbits and goblins and, everyone's got their own names sort of thing. So I didn't even think twice about it.
So let's talk about the women's circle ceremony.
Oh,
The braiding of the hair, the all women are alone and none are alone. This braid represents that we are intertwined with you. Very wholesome, empowering statements.
And I liked I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something about when you feel the braid, you kind of feel us all together, or when you sort of need our help, you just feel that. I liked that.
Yeah, it was
we're
like
behind you or the light or something.
it was like the first Lilith fair.
Yeah, and then it ends violently.
Hey, time to push off a cliff.
Yeah, I'm glad they don't tell them beforehand.
All right, so talk to me about that scene, Cassie.
I kind of would be pissed when I got up. But when she got to the end and she got out of the water, I thought her outfit was amazing. It looked like water, the way they had that outfit. Doesn't look like she's in a puddle of water. I like that. I thought it was cool.
I wasn't completely sure, to me, kind of what the women's circle was, right? Obviously, she had to do something to be joined in or inducted in and go through kind of this challenge, but I wasn't 100% sure what that means for her going forward. Obviously a little bit later they talk about her maybe being an apprentice to be the wisdom, but those are unrelated. So I'm not 100% sure what it all signifies, her being in the women's circle.
I kind of thought of it as like a bat mitzvah or bar mitzvah. Like she's reached her adulthood and the women go through this. This is what they have to do to reach
So you
adulthood.
think all women who reach a certain age go through this?
Yes, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was seemed to me too. So I was like, okay, she's older than puberty, right? And she's much more grown up than that. So is that? Yeah, I wasn't sure actually if it was a every woman thing or if it was just for special women.
That is also reinforced when Moiraine later talks to Nynaeve and says, how long have you had the braid? She says 5 years. She's like, oh, that makes you 25 or 26.
Right.
So it might be that everyone who turns 20. Yeah. Go.
Okay,
Right,
so
we know Egwene is 20 as well because the whole prophecy thing. So this happens when they're 20.
So, question. She may have gone through it when she was 5 years ago, but since she was an orphan, A, did not see her pass. I know I'm jumping forward, sorry. And
No, that's
B,
great.
don't know. She's saying she's about 25, 26. Doesn't mean that she is. She could be 22. I think she may be the same age, too.
Okay.
That's just what I thought when it was a thing. Like if you, like the gentleman in the beginning, we did not see him die. So is he really dead? We did not see her die. So was she really dead?
Apparently, they just push her in and then go get beers at the inn. And Egwene has to just make her way back because when she gets in, they all applaud, and her dad's like, it looks like her dad's like, "Hey, I didn't know you had that ceremony." So I think they just leave her, and she just has to come back on
Make
her
her
own.
way back. Yeah, that they were all totally partying. That did seem a little insensitive.
She changed though. She had to go home and change.
All right, let's talk about the boys. The boys meet up. Matt is a gambler. All right, let's talk about the boys. Yeah, the gambler.
I really like him. He's such a good guy. Even though he has this kind of evilish look to him, because I think that's they're what they're going for. But I mean, like his parents are crappy. He takes care of his his siblings. You know, he's just, you know, he's got it rough, but he's a good guy. He's got a good heart.
He's like scrappy, right? I mean, he figures out what he needs to generally for his sisters. But yeah, he's a gambler. We learn that he's a thief, and we learn that he's proud, right? He doesn't want to take money even from his friends who are really nice to want to give him a little money to help get lanterns for his sisters, but he didn't want that. So there's a whole lot going on in that guy.
He did take it.
Well, let's jump right into the lantern ceremony. We'll talk about the other characters, but that was a good 10 minutes or 8 minutes of the show was this lantern ceremony. There was significance to these guiding their souls back to home. The whole point of this festival seems to be kind of this remembrance of the dead.
I thought it was beautiful, and
Yes.
and the realization that everyone had lost someone, and you don't really know the story behind it, right? We learn a little bit of this one of Rand and Tam, and that's his mom. I mean, we saw Matt and his sisters, right? They had some, and that seemed really emotional for them. That there's something to that. So we were talking that was there another sibling or another child or somebody, you know, a more tragic loss than that one.
And we know that he got some lanterns. He got 3 lanterns from Pad and Fane when he pawned what he stole. And I think he bought the other ones really for the girls so that they could have some too, because you need more than 3.
Yeah, I only saw them put out the 3 though. Both the girls put out 1 and the mom. But yeah, I do think that there was a family member that they lost. And I don't know if the mom blames him because of the way that she shunned him in a way. Maybe she reminded him too much of her husband or his father. But
And that's where the damage in the family started, her drinking and the dad going off. I mean all of that.
yeah, which came first?
Pain. Mm-hmm.
Chicken or the egg? Or could it be because they lost a sibling due to something? I don't know.
Yeah, the girls had seen the mom drunk before. They said, "Maddie, is mommy's sick again?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, the mom was going to call her a name too.
You're right, you little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Now,
no, that's his mom.
wouldn't it add to the story to find out later on that they tragically lost a young one and that she's having a hard time recovering?
Would it? She's still got 2 little ones, and she's got an older one that's not. You have to. You still have 2 to raise, or even though the other one's 20, you have 3 to raise.
I think, for me, it all adds to the depth and development of the character of Matt.
Yeah.
And the responsibility he's taken on. And maybe there's something more to it that we'll find out eventually of, was there another sibling, and who was it, and what happened? But it just adds to the depth of him.
Well said. I agree. Yeah, this is a solemn time.
And we have this speech this conversation where Rand asks his dad, how long does it take for the wheel to spin out a soul?
How long does it take for a soul to kind of return, more or less, based on the wheel?
And so we have mention of the wheel. Rand asks, says the wheel, Tam mentions the wheel. What do you guys think when they say the wheel?
So during the battle, but when someone passed, whoever was near them said, look at my eyes, look at my eyes, look at my eyes. And I don't know if they were like transferring something to them or if that's just their tradition, but it looked like they were trying to, give them a part of themselves when passed.
Perrin was saying, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, and then like with the old gentleman, I don't know who his name was, and she was staring at his eyes and he was staring up at her eyes. It just looked like there is a transference of spirit somehow, and that's where that's what I read.
I love it.
Super awesome.
For me, the wheel, I don't know. I haven't I don't know that I can articulate kind of a full definition or description. It's just that it's time. It is, right? It is the whole wheel of time. So just this whole idea of kind of people coming and going and the connection that everyone is and has. I didn't think of it from a soul perspective. And now, I'm thinking more of these things that Rand's dad said and all that, but I didn't necessarily think of when people go, but that there's moments, right? And there's these prophecies and there's things that need to happen. And that seems like what Moiraine is trying to do is just make sure she either knows or understands where some of these things are going to happen. So all the connectivity of time.
Awesome. Yes. And do you think they're speaking like truth about the nature of the world, or is it kind of their understanding? Tam and Rand, they're talking about the wheel, and when they're talking about the rebirth of spirits and stuff, like, do you think that's how it is in this world?
Or is that just voodoo mumbo jumbo talk?
I think it's their belief. Call it faith, call it whatever it is. So for them, yes, that's absolutely how it is in this world. And everyone seems to be talking about the same wheel. So as far as I'm concerned, that's how it is. Whether it's things that they believe or things that are real. Perspective is real, or perception is reality. Somebody told me that once a long time ago.
I think that they didn't have school and all they learned was through their teachings of their elders. And this is a story that's been passed down and passed down and passed down.
What are your thoughts of Rand, Cassie?
His dad was in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
He's way nicer. He's way nicer in this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He redeemed his father acting arc. Like, as an actor, he was like the worst father in the world. Now he's the best father in the world. Yeah, I wonder, is Rand going to grow a beard? Ooh.
I don't know. His jawline is pretty chiseled. I don't know that they want to cover that up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And without his shirt on, I don't even know if he had armpit hair.
My impression of Rand is kind of this very typical, almost like small town farm boy in love with the girl that he's been in love with since he was little, has the friends that he's had since he was a long time, works hard, respects and loves his dad, and he's just the kind of
all-American.
That kid that just does what he should, and
you want him in your corner.
Back to what I was saying too about these characters, like this placeless, like you're not sure where they're from. Like his features, I can't quite figure out either. Kind of a little bit darker complexion for having this red hair. Seriously chiseled jawline. Like he looks really babyish here, but then there's some where He's like maturing, like literally his face is kind of on that maturing phase.
That's funny. I thought you were going to say, talk about timelessness. Did he buy this sweater at Abercrombie & Fitch? Or did his dad?
I commented on the sweater. I like the sweater.
Yeah, she wanted to buy it. She wants Moiraine's coat. She wants Rand's sweater. I want Matt's bathrobe.
And I want the dress in the pool.
Cassie loves this dress.
And no, because the sweater is, I mean, to me, looks very like hand knit by somebody who, you know, to me, it looks very farm-ish. Like it's not J. Crew.
That's a chisel jaw.
That is the jaw I was referring to, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the third of the trio. His name is Perrin.
Perrin.
I love Perrin.
He is the blacksmith. He's the one that's married.
Is he the blacksmith or she's the blacksmith?
Well, they are at the forge, so I guess they live there. Who knows?
And in the very beginning, the first one, when she was doing it alone, he walked up, grabbed her stomach, and I thought she was pregnant.
Yeah.
But I think it was the vest she was wearing for the thing. But I thought, oh, she's pregnant. She's doing that alone.
They showed like her belly a lot then, and then they showed, I mean, then that's where the what'd you say? Accidentally.
Accident.
Happened. And then, I mean, so they showed that a lot. I don't know if it's, I mean, if she was pregnant, whether he ever refers to it or knew or who knows. But I wasn't thinking of her looking pregnant. I was thinking of it as her being pregnant without yet looking it, right? That, like.
Okay, yeah. You know, the best thing is that she gets all those earrings for free.
Yeah, she just makes them.
Yeah.
That's her side job. She follows like Lollapalooza when it goes to like 4 cities and she sells her earrings.
I think she goes to Lilith Fair too. Come on.
Good point. Is that a lip piercing?
I'm not gonna say anything.
I know. I loved Perrin. I mean, and this is, I mean, I don't remember much from the books, but I do like him again as a character. And there's definitely things that are different, but him as a character as this strong blacksmith, right? Huge arms, just super strong, but very sensitive. You know, clearly adoring his wife, loving her, and then tragic, like awful tragic.
Yeah, he's kind of like, I don't want to say the dumb oaf, but the muscle, let's say. Kind of like each, you know, this one will be the smart one, this one will be this one will be that. He just seems like he'll be the muscle for the group.
Oh. Rand is the Goldilocks, like the just right. So Layla dies by Perrin's hand.
That made me jump.
Yeah, did you see that coming?
Oh God, no.
No, gasp! Like that was the gasp of the night.
Oh yeah, that really got me. Oh my God. Yeah.
And then the look at me. Yeah, you're right. That's his last words to her.
Yeah, and they if there's something like with the eyes looking at each other, like I don't know. Yeah.
And then he breaks down and sobs. This was a pretty powerful scene.
Oh yeah. Well, I was flabbergasted. I didn't expect it at all, out of nowhere.
I mean, you figure there's Trollocs there, so, and a lot of people are dying. I mean, so yeah, you figure kind of people die, but we just met her, and we just met these people, and finally, you know, had enough of a connection of him, and back to my words, adoring her, that it was tragic that soon in.
But the troll did it, not him doing it.
Oh no, and nobody knows his secret, right? So now he's got this huge, heavyweight secret.
Because everyone got killed by Trollocs, but Layla got killed by his own axe.
Yeah.
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 With Rand and Tam are at their farm. The farm is not very near the village. It's not really described how far away it is, but it's a decent walk. Was this a stray Trolloc that showed up? Or was this a more coordinated thing, do you think?
Well, so Moiraine mentions that they're there for them, right? For the four of them. That's what the Trollocs are there for. So in hindsight, you think that, okay, he's there for them, but why only send one?
Mm-hmm.
So when it's only one, you think maybe the dude got lost. I don't know.
Well, there was only one, but there wasn't one of the Asante girls or whatever, the
Aes Sedai.
Yeah, the ring girls.
Mm-hmm.
No, from now on, they're Santi girls.
Yeah. I'm a Santi girl in a Santi world.
I'm a Santi girl. It's enticing. So inviting.
But there wasn't anyone, they didn't feel that they were tough enough to fight them. So why just send one? Just, one can do a lot of damage. So I don't
Right. Yeah. Tam has a sword hidden under his bed. And hiya, but he almost dies. Bran saves him. And he gets cut. He has Trolloc poison.
I'll bet my life on it.
If I'm wrong, and I'm never wrong.
My favorite movie is The Princess Bride, and when Moiraine said, Trolloc poison, I said, I'll bet my life on it.
As you wish.
He gets into town, and it is a complete...
Right, and he thought there was, like you said, there was one Trolloc, and he's like, something crappy just happened at our farm. I gotta go take him to safety. And he gets to the town where there's like full-on decimation.
Yeah,
and the one doctor is the wisdom lady is gone.
Is gone. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Nynaeve in general now.
Okay.
You talked about Lan. Nynaeve is the wisdom. She has a instant contentious relationship with Moiraine, it seems. When she addresses her and Lan at first, she is gripping her dagger as if she wants to stab him in the throat.
So we're talking about the girl who is the wisdom, not the trainer.
Right.
Wisdom,
Okay.
correct. Her.
Yeah.
Who later has a conversation with Moiraine in the bath.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk. What are your thoughts about this character, Nynaeve?
I think she's badass.
Seems like she's got a chip on her shoulder to me, right? There's something. I mean, she says that she's there to protect the town and the people, but with an unpleasantness to her. We see her pleasant and kind of smile with Egwene, but no one else. I think she smiles, kind of early on. Maybe it's when Egwene comes back in the door or something like that. But that was the only time really I remember her smiling. She seems very serious. And then in that bath conversation, she did not like Aes Sedai at all.
No, we learned that the prior wisdom walked for months when she was 13 years old to go to the White Tower. And was turned away because she looked like a peasant and had, a peasant accent and whatnot. She was just a poor girl, and they scoffed her and sent her on her way.
Right. Well, she was raised by this person too, so this person hated them for that, and then, bred her or taught her to hate them. So not appreciate anything they can do.
They also mention how young she is. I mean, right? So she's 25 or 26, and in wisdom years, I take it that that's quite young. And so again, that
Not as young as this guy.
way younger.
That dude's, 18, 19 at most?
Yeah.
Just hitting the cusp.
But as a so again, I don't know what exactly the Women's Council, but as a woman in power, leadership, as the woman or as the wisdom, and being young at it, I can start kind of looking and understanding that chip a little bit more. Is you gotta prove yourself more. You gotta work a bit harder. You gotta this is
Be taken seriously.
This is what women have to do all the time in the workplace and various, various things like that, especially being young. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And wisdom, you always see the old wisdom person, with the cane and the, walking stick or something.
Yes.
And to see someone, that's why they question her abilities just because of her age. But I don't think her age is 25. I still think she's about the same age as the others.
Okay.
Do you think this chip on the shoulder helped her or is a hindrance to her?
It depends on in what aspect of her life. I think as a wisdom, it helps her. Yeah. I think is that if her sole priority or focus is taking care of the people in the town, then it helps her. I think.
Well,
in relationships, it probably doesn't. It probably doesn't. But
well, she can't get married. She can't have kids. She can't really get close to anyone. She's got to be like an entity that takes care of. She can't really have a life. So I
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is married to her job, literally.
Yeah.
But her relationship with Egwene, they can listen to the wind.
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay, that's a fair answer. It's okay to say I don't know. Yeah, there you go.
So this is probably where I even got a little confused about the Women's Council and what it is and what it meant, because she was talking about the wind like very early on. I think before this was later. But yeah, it's a sort of power. There's a power essence to it. Not everyone can do it. And it's why Egwene was picked, right? That to be an apprentice. So there's something kind of deeper to it. And then I think what she mentioned, the older wisdom who adopted her could listen to the wind, and so went to the White Tower. So whether they know that there's a connection to them listening to the wind and what Moiraine is doing with all the white wispy smokes, I don't know. But there's
what does someone?
I don't know if it's the same type of power or magic or whatever, but I think there's something to it.
What does one gather from listening to the wind, though? What does this do? What?
There's peace in the land. Because obviously they heard all of those, the death and something coming, the disturbance.
Screams and shit, right?
Yeah. And I don't know if it foretells or not. But I had a question about the powers. Do these women have powers, or just the ring has powers?
That's a good point.
I don't know. Is it because the ring it can call all this stuff, or would they have these powers without the ring?
It's like an infinity gauntlet.
A portal.
I got the time stone.
No, do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's the ring that has the power, or they do. I know that she got stabbed, but did she not get hurt because she was wearing the ring, or it's because she has power? I don't know.
Well, let's jump to Moiraine. Moiraine, here's the things that we've seen her do. We've seen her throw fireballs. We've seen her conjure lightning. We've seen her pull stones out of a building and hurl them. We've seen her heal people. We've seen her make water hot. What is there a limit to her powers? What is going on with Moiraine? Is there anything she can't do?
She also, I'll add, so she does all those things, but she also seems to, like, the very first thing was her seeing that 46-year-old, 20-year-old and saying that's not him. Like, she immediately knew that was not the dragon, and is on this quest to find him.
You guys so handsome. I like that face.
That's a Dothraki falling from his horse.
You gotta walk. You must walk. Good call, Grace.
Which means
if there isn't three deaths,
definitely dies.
And she's like, "Yep, that ain't him."
Right. So she also she seems to know and is the one on this quest to like.
If she knew, she'd know which one of them is it.
True. But so there's I don't know where it stops. She does, but we see her. We see the when she uses the power, it affects her too, right? So she's not like completely immune to pains and things. I mean, she's still a human in there as well. But so when she gets stabbed, I mean, she was hurt, and her power stopped when she did, and then all of her summoning. That was that super cool scene, right? So after like the building fell down and she went down, and then all the smoke covered her, and Lan, that was really cool.
And Lan goes and protects her face.
And protects her.
Yeah.
So she was. I mean, it took something out of her. So it's not.
Yeah.
Even taking the poison out of the dad was, but it all seems to correlate with light or water.
Go on.
Everything she does. She gets the lightning from the cloud. She swirls the wind and the light. And when she calls for the light, it comes out through the stones, like around the cement and everything. Like that's how they're loosened, and because she's like pulling the fabric of the light a bit, not the that she can move a stone. She's moving the things that are around it. It just seems like just like heating the pool or the jacuzzi or the bathtub. It's just all water and air, and she just, I don't know, maybe that's what she can do. But it all seems to come out of that ring.
What do we think about the relationship between Lan and Moiraine?
He's her protector. He's her.
What?
This bitch.
Well,
he's their bitch. Yeah.
Pretty much, because they think that women are superior. Because if the men touch it, then they make it filthy. And so he's just basically just to take care of her. He walks into the place, gets the rooms. She comes in and gets the attention.
Do you think Lan could be magic, but just doesn't do it?
That would be silly with all those Trollocs for him not to pull on any magic. He was
samuraiing it.
He was total samurai.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I like. I mean, kind of going back to the casting. I like him just kind of as that sort of actor character. Again,
like his buns.
I do like
the man bun.
Both buns, all the buns. Man bun,
the beefy buns and the hair buns.
Yeah. I like Cassie said. I think that protector, right? That he clearly is her companion and protector, but it doesn't seem like there is romance there. I mean, even they were naked in a tub together, and it seemed more companionship than anything more than that.
It certainly seemed intimate.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Not sexually intimate.
Yeah, agreed. And so that very beginning part too, where he really it seemed like he really wanted that first guy to be the one, right? He's like, nope, fulfills the prophecy, that's him. And she's like, nope, it's not. And he's kind of like, okay,
where to?
all right, I guess I'm with you. So in that protective mode of like kind of wanting to protect her, even though he didn't want her to continue on whatever journey she's on.
Nynaeve gets dragged away by a Trolloc. What? Any emotions with that? With Egwene going, Nynaeve!
I think she's alive.
She's alive! Alive!
Yeah, I think she's alive. I don't know if she's going to kill him or if they're going to try to get her to be evil But
and why did he drag her away? They were killing and like eating the insides of people.
right.
Why did they? So I mean, I agree with, Cassie, that they pulled her and took her away, and she, obviously is a key character as they introduced her in the beginning, but it makes you wonder what they knew of her or saw in her that they didn't just rip her apart like they were ripping everyone else apart.
And so maybe that kind of adds water or weight to Moiraine saying that they're coming for you, right? They sent someone to Rand, one Trolloc to Rand's house.
That one guy. I got it. I'll go get him. You guys go get the village. I got it.
Well,
I'm Narg. Narg smart.
We see them going after parents specifically. We see them dragging Nynaeve.
and I wonder, sorry, Ryan,
Go for it. No.
if they were going to them with the intention of killing them or taking them.
Yeah.
Right. So, to this that we're looking at right here, they took her, even though she's supposedly not one of the four. Were they going? We didn't see anyone go after Matt. Matt individually or Egwene individually, but were they there to just wipe them
From the
out?
earth.
Or
It looked like they were trying to kill Perrin.
yeah,
That was a pretty aggressive fight.
yeah, true. It was not. It was not like.
He's like,
There was two of them.
You yield. Tap.
Okay, so what's the deal with the salesman?
Adam Vane, his name is. We've called him the Joanne's Fabrics on Wheels. The Hobby Lobby. He just has a whole lot of fabrics and strings and stuff.
But the way he was there, everything started happening. He just walked away as if he was fine.
I noticed that too. That he was like all these Trollocs. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go. Like everyone else was like, holy shit, and running around, whatever. And he was just like, yeah, and like quietly turned around.
He's like,
Yeah. Yeah, but they weren't after him.
The name's Paul. This is between y'all.
Yeah. And he didn't, to that, Cassie, he didn't seem surprised. Like everyone else, right, was like, holy shit, what's going on? And look at his face. He was just like, all right.
So
He had the same smile on when they were dancing as when he walked away from the goblins or whatever.
Trolloc.
He was just Trolloc, yeah. He was just like, whatever.
I like goblins. And what's the Shade ladies? Wait, what's the
Asante.
Shantae girls? Shantae girls? We learned that they are after those four, one of those four, and the dragon has been reborn, and it is one of those four.
Is it?
We hear the foretelling.
That's what she said.
That's what she says. And Matt says, have you totally lost your mind?
Lost your mind?
Yeah. But I just don't know if it's one of the, if it's that other girl that got dragged off.
Nynaeve, yeah, okay. Yeah, good point. They look up and they see a whole bunch of torches. Lan's like, 10, 20. There's at least 300.
Yeah, but before he said a couple dozen, and there seemed to be way more than 24.
There were scores. Couple dozen my left foot. There were so many. Moiraine killed a couple dozen with rocks.
In one, yeah, exactly.
She says, we got to split now. And they go, okay, fine. We're on our horse. Boom.
Well, they didn't say, okay, fine. They were like, well, what do you mean?
Well, Rand challenges her.
And she made sure they understood that them leaving is what will protect their family.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't just be like, all right, I guess we'll listen to you and go with you. To me, them, right? She's like, they're coming after you. They won't come here if you're not here. So all four of them were protecting their village, their town, their sisters, fathers, whatever. That was the decision that they made to go. Not because they think. I'm speaking very definitively here.
Sure.
Not because they think, okay, maybe I'm one of the Dragon Reborn, maybe all this. The only reason they went with her is to protect their villain.
Well, to counter, and I'll talk to you, Cassie. Rand himself says, you show up and a day later these monsters come.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, oh, they're here the same reason I am. Because of this story. Did you buy that 100%, Cassie? Or does Rand have a point?
Oh, I think he totally has a point. Were they following her to find out where she goes and then attack there? But I'm worried that if you've got 300 coming down a mountain and you're at the bottom of the mountain, whether you're there or not, they're going to go through the town.
Right.
I mean, the town.
They're going to be hungry after that
walk. They already slaughtered all the goats in that circle. So, I mean, are you really saving your family as you're running away? Because they're going to go through.
They trust her enough to think that, though, right? There's something about what she did and said that they trust her because they all went with her.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, so what is that scene? Like, taken away from the storytelling elements, that scene itself, was that effective for you?
Which scene exactly? Them walking away?
Moiraine basically like convincing them to leave and them leaving.
Quite frankly, for me, it was very short. It was her kind of saying it, and then all of a sudden they were on their horses, like saying goodbye.
Yeah.
It was a bit. It was actually a little bit jarring. There didn't seem to be a lot of convincing going on.
Okay.
Right, that I don't know how much time they had.
Right.
I mean, they were they were on top of Mount Baldy.
That's a reference not many people are going to get.
So I will read aloud the end passage that Moiraine says as they're kind of going. We have some majestic shots, and she reads, quote, "The wheel of time turns and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. In one age, called the third age by some, an age yet to come, an age long past, a wind rose above the great mountainous isle." Oh, it was not the beginning. Mount Baldy. It rushed down through Big Bear and swirled the leaves in Lake Arrowhead.
And then Saddleback. It went to Saddleback too.
It went to Saddleback and took the 73 down to the 405. Then the 405 to the 22. Then the 22 to the 55. It got off at the 57 off ramp.
To be clear, you're not going anywhere in the right direction.
All right. The win was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings to the Wheel of Time, but it was a beginning.
As we were talking about the wheel, right? And I mean, that describes what it is, right? So kind of that whole idea of time and things passing. I mean, I don't know. It's very esoteric, right? I don't know what any of that means.
Right, an age yet to come, an age long past.
Yeah. It's very confusing. But I liked the. There's no beginning, there is no end, but it is a beginning. I mean, that I found a very impactful way to like end that first episode, right?
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. That was.
I actually enjoyed the show and am looking forward to watching the next one.
Great.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Dude, if you had to give it a score, let's give it a score out of 10. What do you rate this episode?
5.
Oh.
Because I'm still unsure as to anything. Until I get to know a little bit more and understand, then I can maybe, in like 3 episodes later, I'll go, oh, that first episode was 7 or an 8. But since I have no context to know what a lot of these things are.
Awesome.
Do you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Hey, Mama,
You can always go up.
5.
So your overall impression is that you enjoyed yourself, but you are confused and lost as to what the heck is going on.
I have a question, Cassie. If Dan and Ryan weren't Uber fans and you watched the first episode, is it one where you're like, all right, I'll keep going, or meh?
No, it's I'll keep going. I did enjoy the trolls or the or whatever they were.
What you say? Keep on.
Trolls or the whatever those were called. The monsters.
Okay. The Dave Grohls?
The Trollocs. Stop. Nice. Trollocs.
Dave Grohls?
No, we want to hear what you're making up now.
I like Dave Grohls.
I really love the made up names.
And the Ashante girls.
Okay.
Ashante girls and then Dave Trolloc.
Dave Trollocs. The makeup, and I just think it was really cool. But I have to see as to if it's going to go or, it's got my interest. If it keeps it or it doesn't, I'll see how it goes. But
I remember, and so Cassie, you even kind of saying like, okay, the names, I am not sure who all the names are yet. And I remember that from Game of Thrones. Like the first time I'm like, okay, wait, who are they? Like who's who? Because there's so many characters and so many names. And this is introducing everybody. So it's a bit like overwhelming to figure out who everyone is. The guy with the sisters, and the guy with the wife, and the guy with the dad, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And the chick who jumped in the water, or threw in the water. Yeah, but as to the names, that's still kind of...
And even that word, like, she said there's 4 TAVERN, I'm saying that right? There. Perfect. Like, she said that at the beginning. I'm like, all right, what the hell is that? And then she's like, okay, you 4 people. So
4 bars.
Yeah, so I still don't know what that word means, and I think that's just with again, this whole new world. There's going to be a whole lot of new vocabulary that come with it. Yeah, I didn't.
What do you give it a grade?
I'm probably I'd say a good solid 7. And for similar reasons, except that I have a bit more understanding. But I think 7. But after kind of talking through it too, I'm liking it more and more.
Yeah, want to rewatch it?
So it's now like on an 8. We get more towards an 8.
Well, let's get you guys watching episode 2 so we can come back and talk about it. This has been great.
I agree.
Awesome.
Only if we can sing It's a Family Affair to open the next one.
That's great. Thanks, guys.
All right, so everyone, thanks for watching. We will be back with episode 2 shortly. In the meantime, we are the Way of the Leaf, and as the Way of the Leaf always does, we run for safety. What was it, Ryan? Okay, we run for our lives.
Thank you for watching. Let's give us a like and subscribe, and as always, run for your lives, because this is Way of the Leaf.